Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to the TNAIW Go Power Rankings show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Burt Maclin, no relation to Steve Maclin.
I'm playing a little under the weather today. It's gonna be like Michael Jordan when he had the flu. I'm gonna give you my best performance, but I'm hurting. I'm hurting a little bit. Getting over the sickness.
Okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. All right. So, as Jeff would say, we're on the victory road to Bound for Glory. And we had an incredible show this past week. And I cannot wait to see these power rankings because I'm very curious to see who's on there and who's not on there. We had the Time Machine main event. So I'm expecting to see them be, if not number one, somewhere near the top. What about you?
I think that, I want to see Time Machine near the top, but I think our world champion deserves to be number one, especially going into these next few weeks. But I will say it was a very weird choice to have Josh Alexander's match in the middle of the show, opposed to, just because I always think the thing that ends the show to me is always, it feels the most important to me. So Time Machine getting the victory at the end of the show, I want to put the number one, but Josh just seems to should be number one, so I'm fine with it if he is.
I will say though, not to take anything away from Josh Alexander, he is our world champion, and Josh Alexander is amazing. But I feel like sometimes, his storyline right now is with Eddie Edwards, but sometimes it's kind of like, okay, there's an even more important storyline taking place that should probably end the show. I guess the question is Time Machine as big of a storyline that they deserve to be that number one spot over Josh Alexander, who is our world champion?
The one thing that I will say that will hurt Josh this week, in my eyes, and this has nothing to do with him, it's not anything he did, but I didn't want his match to be with Vincent to be I didn't want it to be competitive. I wanted him to squash Vincent, and that's exactly what happened. So that match wasn't competitive. So, it's not his fault, but the main event with Time Machine was a banger. So that's kind of why I want to see him at number one. But again, Josh is our world champion, and that does carry some weight. So
And you just said it, that the whole reason why Josh did a main event is because his match with Vincent was pretty much a squash match. I mean, think about it this way. If they had put Time Machine in the middle of the show and then Josh at the end, I don't think it would have been as a strong show, especially with the match that we got against Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
They were at the perfect spots. If you switch those two matches, the show changes completely. Like it's a much weaker show, because then you're like, oh, we had this banger of a match in Time Machine and BBD, and yet the main event was the squash match. Like, where's the logic in that? And it kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth. So it was perfect that they did it this way. Josh went in the middle and Time Machine main evented.
And I fully expect Josh's matches up until Bound for Glory to be pretty much the same. I want him just going out there and dominating people to let him know that not only is he ready for the match, but he's looking the best. He's looking fired. He's ready to go. So I don't want him. I expect every match he has on the way to Bound for Glory to be similar to this. I'm not saying it's going to be a squash match, but Josh should look dominant in every match.
He definitely will. We're on the victory road to Bound for Glory. So, but before we get into the power rankings, Burt, tell us how you would join the power rankings if you wanted to be a part of it.
All you have to do is reach out to me on Twitter at Burt Maclin 11, DM or just a regular message, and we'll get you in the power rankings. We just looking to grow them, and on the road to Bound for Glory, let's get them as big as we can. So if you're a TNA fan, you love Impact, I should say, and you love Impact, you watch the show every week, and you can get out a quick top 10, we want you to be part of the Power Rangers. I mean, the Power Ranking. Sorry.
Power Rangers. Sorry. Now we don't need to recruit teenagers with attitude here.
I know. You just got back from Power Rangers, Morphicon, so I've been thinking about that too. So
yeah, I did just get back from Morphicon, and I met some Power Rangers, But you blew the budget bringing in the Red Rangers that couldn't get any shout outs from them.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that, we might have to hire a VR trooper because they're a lot cheaper. You know what I mean? They're like the B team. You know what I mean?
Well, if we're gonna bring in the VR troopers, we might as well bring in the beta boards too.
Oh, the Beetle. Yeah, that's very low rent.
Or the Mystical Knights of Tyre. I can't say that. I can't say it, but you know what I'm saying. The Mystical Knights.
I know.
All right. So with that being said, let's get into these power rankings.
Number 10, Bhupinder Gujjar. Number 9, Honor No More. Number 8, Death Machine Sami Callihan. Number 7, X Division Champion Mike Bailey. Number 6, Jessicka. Number 5, World Champion Jordan Grace. Number 4, Tag Team Champions Bullet Club. Number 3, Time Machine. Number 2, Tag Team Champions VXT. And number 1, World Champion Josh Alexander.
I have to say, these have been some of the weirdest power rankings we've had. There are people on here I did not expect to see. Gujjar, Jessicka with the K because she's sick. Okay, I will say this though. I love Gujjar. Like Gujjar has been impressive since like the very beginning, but like I wasn't expecting to see him on here. I mean, he pretty much had a squash match against Jason Hotch, and Jessicka with the K, I guess you could make the same argument. She had a squash match too against Alicia Edwards.
I think it's credit to Impact though. Like they're building Bhupinder the right way. Every week they're getting him more and more screen time. This is they're putting him in a big storyline right now for the Digital Media Championship. I have no problem with them being number 10, but like I said, like there's a lot of names that not necessarily new, but I didn't think they were going to be on here. But then when I looked to the top, it's pretty much the same old. And just like we were saying, you got Time Machine at 3, Vex at number 2. They opened and closed the show. They were the 2 best matches on the show. Mm-hmm. So 2 and 3, I love it. And then Josh being number 1, like we said, he is the world champion. I'm not saying that his reign is bad. I'm saying, but like, I'm not cooling off on him, but right now he's number 1 because he's the world champion. As opposed, he's going out there and getting that number 1 spot, but like, there's just a lot more going on right now in Impact other than the world champion. So like right now, I think that he's number 1 because he's the world champion, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, it does make sense. And I get what you're saying about, and I get what you mean because like normally Josh has like match after banger after banger after banger match, but his feud is with Eddie Edwards. So they're going to build to that feud until we get to Bound for Glory. So like you said, logically, it makes sense that he might have squash matches leading up to there. But I do see him maybe having 1 or 2 competitive matches that would make him be rightfully at number 1, not just because he's Impact World Champion. So let me ask you something. So again, going back to Josh and Vincent, Eddie Edwards comes out and he tries to cut a promo. He gets attacked. He gets hit with a wake-up call by Heath. Do you think they're going to use that? He's going to blame PCO for not being out there, furthering that storyline?
Well, yeah, it seems like this whole thing is whatever they can do to try to get to blame PCO for something, which is sad because PCO has been one of the most over members of that group. So it really doesn't make sense to kick him out. But like, it seems like Eddie just is hell bent on kicking him out. So I can see that. Kick him out for no reason. Why were you out there, PCO? Is that what he's going to say? You should have anticipated my move. You should have been out there. Like, is that what he's going to say?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit. I think that they're kicking him out. Impact Management is probably kicking PCO out of Honor No More because he is over on his own. You know,
That's true.
they probably see him as a baby face. He's trying to be the he's, in my opinion, he's a baby face of the group. He is so over. I mean, his matches with Jonah showed that.
So
He is so over. So it would make sense for them to want PCO out of that group. So I guess that's why we're getting this storyline. Or at least that's how I see it.
And I think you might agree with me on this, because we're usually right. I would think there's a safe chance we'll get Josh and Heath in a tag match against Eddie and someone from Honor No More before Bound for Glory. I just kind of see that happening. It's a tag match.
Did you say we're trying to get a tag team match player? Holla.
Yeah, because now Heath pretty much taking out every member of Honor No More, so I could see them giving him like a little tag match or something, because he really doesn't have a storyline as of right now, except for just taking out Honor No More. So I could see him, maybe teaming with Josh next week. And I want to say just one more thing before we move on to another part of the rankings, because I feel like I wish this into existence, but that promo Eddie cut was so tired. I'm sorry. It was like the same thing he's been saying all week. Impact Management, whatever, they're making us fight and using us. I'm like, it's so overdone. It's like, say something different. I don't know. I like Eddie a lot. I wish his promos were a little different every week. That's all. But I'm nitpicking.
So I do agree. I do think we're going to get Heath and Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards and another member of Honor No More. You know what? I just thought of something. So to kind of piggyback off of that, what if it's Eddie Edwards and PCO, and then let's say Eddie Edwards and PCO loses, and then they blame PCO for that loss, and that's how they kick him out of the team.
Yeah, I see that, because it's like what you said. I think that PCO was brought in to be a separate piece of Honor No More. I don't think he was going to be long for the group anyway. So, and I don't know if all of them are signed anyway. So yeah, I think PCO is not long for that group, just because, like he said, he doesn't need that group. He's over on his own. He's already established himself as one of the top guys in the company. People love PCO. So yeah, I think it's a matter of time before he's not in the group anymore.
I mean, when he wrestled Doc Gallows, the crowd was chanting PCO, PCO. He's so over. He is so over with the crowd. It's only a matter of time before he's done with Honor No More.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the main core of Honor No More, after a few more months, will be OGK and Eddie. Yeah, I see Kenny, because Kenny doesn't need the group either. I'm not saying he's over, but Kenny cuts great promos. I see him have another X Division run. But I see the core of Honor No More being Eddie and OGK, and then we go from there.
Do you think we're going to get kind of I would say an evolution style here? Let's say PCO and Vincent leave. So do you think Eddie Edwards would be Impact Champion, OGK Tag Team Champions, and then maybe Kenny King would be X Division Champion, and Honor No More will have all the gold?
I would have a problem with that. I always like when factions are dominant and have all the gold. You could even give Maria the knockout champion. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
And if Edwards joins them, they could be with Knockouts champion and Knockouts tag team champions.
Yeah. Again, Honor No More being strong is good for Impact. So, and it just shows that we book talent really well. So yeah, I would love a situation if they were all champions. But like I said, I think we're going to get to a point when Eddie turns face again, and that's when they kick him out of the group. Because I don't ever see Honor No More being a babyface faction. The crowd wants to cheer for Eddie. They don't like booing him. He's an Impact pillar, so he's going to win the champions at heel, but he's not going to be heel forever.
Yeah, I definitely just see. So, is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Well, just real quick, I think it was sad that how far Mike Bailey fell, but 7, but I think he'll be back on top again. And then Jordan at 5. I think that's, I think that she's starting to show a little more edge. The one that's really confusing to me is, don't get me wrong, I love Bullet Club at number 4, but a little high. They haven't really done anything lately. And that makes me kind of upset because I think last week we kind of were upset about how Chris Bay's not getting much shine. That pisses me off. And where's Ace Austin? They should be on the show every week. Bullet Club prints money. They should be on the show every week. Yeah, exactly. They're like, I don't think I've been to a wrestling show, and not seen a Bullet Club shirt. They're like the most popular faction in all of wrestling. They should be on the show every week in some capacity.
You want to know how popular they are? They're so popular, they cross over into the Power Rangers universe. Like, I saw people at Power Morphicon wearing Bullet Club t-shirts.
I would not be surprised if the new season of Power Rangers, they're wearing Bullet Club shirts in the show. That's how cool they are. Okay,
and one of the actresses is actually from New Zealand. So, hey, she should be wearing a Jay White t-shirt.
She should. He's a national treasure down there. They should be wearing that. Everyone should be wearing those shirts from there.
Yeah.
King Switch.
Just really quick. Number 7. Yeah, I'm really shocked Mike Bailey's number 7. Was not expecting him to see him that low on the rankings. Jordan Grace at number 5. I mean, she lost. What were you expecting? She lost. Number 4, Bullet Club. I am pretty surprised that they are number 4, considering they really haven't done much. And we haven't seen much of Bay and Ace Austin. I think oh, sorry.
I think the reason for that, to what you just said, is because I think that there's rumors that Good Brothers might not be around much longer. If that's the case, I think that if they leave, you'll see Ace and Austin and Chris Bay become the new face of the Bullet Club for Impact. I think you'll see them every week, with the Bullet Club shirts. I think they'll take over where the Good Brothers left off because, like I said, I don't know if the Good Brothers are leaving, but, I think we're leading to a point where Ace and Bay are going to be tag team champions eventually.
Great minds think alike, because I was just about to say that. I was going to say, with the rumor that the Good Brothers are leaving, I think Ace and Bay are going to be the representation of the Bullet Club.
And hopefully we get some more people. Like, I want to see LP back on Impact.
Me too. LP. I like LP. El Phantasmo. I actually met LP last year when I went to Bound for Glory.
That's awesome.
He asked me why I didn't have a Bullet Club shirt on, and I was like, I'll buy one. Don't worry, I'll buy one.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, you got anything else you want to say as we get ready to wrap up here?
I would just say that you don't want to miss any episode of Impact going forward, just because even the down shows are better than most people's A shows. So watch Impact. Come on, it's the best weekly wrestling show going. So
anywho, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for always supporting us. It's always a lot of fun to do this show, especially with Burt. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever this video drops or whenever TNAIW releases a video. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a great night. Bye.